Hi folks, Tim here. Welcome back to Elmendorf Acres. Today is a fun video along with a little bit of a teaser for a video that we're going to do later on in our 8 to 38, the Chronicles of a Young Entrepreneur series. In that series, there's going to be a video entitled Small Beginnings, how to turn this into this. And basically it's how to turn an older piece of machinery, or in my case, the push mower that I was doing my neighbor's lawn with, into the tractor that I bought, and then the zero turn, and so on until we finally built up to where we are today. So today's video is a teaser for a future Chronicles video, but also one that you can enjoy right now, and it's how we turned a free chainsaw into a Stihl 194T, and that's Stihl's top handle chainsaw. So that's what today's video is about, how to turn a free chainsaw into a nice, shiny, new chainsaw. Hope you enjoy. Most of you have seen a lot of stuff on our channel so far, and hopefully you're enjoying it. But one of the things that I find fun and sometimes exciting is resurrecting an old tool just to see if it works, how it works, and if we can make money with it. So this video is a short video about a chainsaw that we found while doing a shed clean out. Now, we do all kinds of different work, especially during the winter, or a winter like this where there's not a lot of snow plowing. So this was the end of last winter, and it was before we were mowing lawns, and an elderly lady that we work for hired us to clean out an old shed. That way she could sell the house. And there was a couple different things in it. There was an old John Deere tractor, an old pressure washer, a lot of old corded tools that just didn't work right anymore. They've been sitting for years. The moisture got to them. But we were able to resurrect the John Deere tractor and managed to sell that for a couple $100, which was really nice. And another thing that we did was we found an old chainsaw. Now, I enjoy resurrecting things, especially when we don't have a lot of other stuff going on, or in the evening when I can tinker a little bit. So what we found in this garage was an old Homelite top handle Super 2. Now this thing probably hadn't run in 15 or 20 years. And it's certainly not in a showroom condition by any means. But I didn't have the heart to throw it away. So I decided that I'd take a little bit of time and try to resurrect it, see if we could get it running. Well, believe it or not, after about an hour of tinkering and a new spark plug and whatnot, I was able to get the thing running. So then I went a little further down the rabbit hole, and I decided it would be real fun to see just how much money we could make with our free top handle chainsaw. One of the things that I wanted to prove with this is you can make money with a lot of different machinery, especially when you don't mind if it's not top of the line and it's not new and shiny. So this one doesn't have any of the safety features that so many of the new saws have, but I'm used to chainsaws. I figured it would be fun, and I wanted to see if I could make enough money with this saw to offset the cost of a new top handle saw. So I set my goal at like $400, somewhere in that range. And I said, I want to make $400 with this saw, because even if it's not enough to buy a real nice top handle, it kind of proves the point that we can make some money with it. We went over the summer and we did a couple different jobs. You know, somebody hired us to cut down a couple bushes, or there was a tree that fell in somebody's yard. We cleaned it up with it. And I did a little bit of pruning with it, trimmed some cedar trees, trimmed some pine trees, things like that. I also cut up a willow tree that blew over. So the basic rundown of it is we charged $300 to cut up the willow tree. So that brought me 3/4 of the way to the goal. And then with cutting some of the blowdowns in people's yards and pruning those cedars and pine trees, we were actually able to make $475 off of this free chainsaw. Well, I had to take another step further, and I had a whole bunch of pole wood in my yard from a job that we did, and I was saving it for firewood. So I said, well, this is where I'm basically going to kill this saw, but I want to see how much further I can go. I ended up cutting 2/3 of a cord of firewood and filling 2 of our IBC totes with that saw before it finally died. So if you figure that firewood is $300 a cord and we did 2/3, that's another $200. So actual real money that we brought in was $475, plus we cut another $200 worth of firewood, which is $675. Now the new top handle steel that we bought, I bought that Stihl 194. I think it was around $500. It was a fun experiment. It allowed us to kind of do something that I haven't done since I was a kid. And by doing something that I haven't done since I was a kid, kind of brought me back to the good old days of pushing the push mower up and down the road in this very neighborhood until I made enough money with that push mower to buy a tractor. So it was kind of fun and nostalgic, and something that we could do, something that I could do to prove a point that you don't need the newest, the best, the fanciest. Many times, if you're willing to work a little bit, you can make do with what you have. This is a teaser of a video that I'm going to be doing later in the 8 to 38 Chronicles of a Young Entrepreneur. And that video talks about just how we came about buying the machinery that we bought, the trucks that we bought, and working from old, tired machinery all the way up to the top of the line stuff that we're running now. So here it is, the old Homelite Super 2. I believe this saw is from the 70s. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely tired now. The fuel cap's cracked, the oil cap's cracked, it leaks all over the place. But we're done with it now. I finally killed it cutting the firewood. But here is the new saw, the Stihl MS 194T. We made enough money with the old free Homelite Super 2 to be able to buy this. Kind of fun, a fun experiment. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed keeping track. And of course, people told me that wasn't possible, which when somebody tells me something's not possible, I just have to prove that it is. Probably not one of my best traits, but one that in this case was a lot of fun. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep this old saw. It's kind of just neat. Again, we made $475 with this free saw, and then cut 2/3 of a cord of firewood, which sells for $300 a cord. So we cut $200 worth of firewood. So if you're actually taking into account the true money made along with the potential earnings, it was $675 that we made with the Homelite Super 2. And with that money, we were able to buy the Stihl 194T, which is great because I haven't had a top handle saw in quite a while. I don't climb, so I don't have a huge use for it, but it's nice to do small things and have one in the truck when you're plowing snow.